Thank you for your statement, Cabinet Secretary, but I'm not particularly encouraged by it. I note that in the first paragraph of your statement, you say that the Ockenden report is another difficult report for the board and that the findings shouldn't be a surprise to them. I agree with you on that point, but Betsy has been in special measures since 2015 and your government have had control of the NHS in Wales since 1999 by virtue of being in government in Cardiff Bay and are ultimately responsible for its failures. So if this is a difficult report for the board of Betsi Cadwalladr, it's an even more difficult report for you, Cabinet Secretary. Just reading the report's executive summary left me with my head in my hands in despair. There is an account of failure on practically every page, and the report provides a snapshot of an NHS in North Wales that is in shambles due to mismanagement. There are accounts of lessons not being learned, staff being stretched to breaking point by an irrational reorganisation that left them covering a vast geographical area. The Ockenden report also reflects some of the comments that were made in the Mind Over Matter report debated recently in this place, that recommendations to the board have not been implemented. The same problems keep being repeated and have been since 2009. So do you agree with me that it is the decisions of the board and yourself and your government that have led to this unprecedented, woeful and utterly shameful situation, and that you owe a huge debt of gratitude to the frontline staff who have been badly let down by you but continue to care enough to produce improvements that you can then trumpet as a success? Will any board members be removed if they fail to deliver on the expectations of improvement that you promise to place on them? And would you agree that if someone is recruited to a job they fail at, the recruiter has to take a large part of the blame for mistakenly believing they were suitable, and then even more culpability for the problems it causes if they don't remove that person or persons? You've mentioned improvements, and I won't deny that there have been improvements. But improvement at Betsi Cadwalladr is proceeding at a glacial pace, to say the least. You're saying that you will continue to give ongoing support to Betsi Cadwalladr, and my question to you, Cabinet Secretary, is how the support will differ from that which has already been provided. Because previous support and interventions don't seem to have borne sufficient constructive fruit. The Ockenden report points to failures and warnings of the same since Betsy's creation in 2009. True, the board needs to shoulder its fair share of accountability for the failures and shambles that is reflected in the Ockenden report. However, you as Cabinet Secretary are responsible for managing that board and have to accept accountability for your own failure to bring Betsy out of special measures and back on the road to excellence. Will you do that? Anything less than the full and proper implementation of the board's recommendations, rather than the mealy-mouthed accept in principle with which you greeted many of the recommendations in the Mind Over Matter report into the state of children and young people's mental health service provision in Wales, will be a gross dereliction of the duty of care that you owe to the people of North Wales. You said in your statement that you're acutely aware of how difficult this period has been for families and patients affected by the failures highlighted by the Ockenden report. But I'm sure that they would find far more comfort in you resolving the problems at Betsy than they will from your mere words. So finally, without using the terms lessons have been learned, please can you tell me what new actions that differ from those actions you've taken so far will you be undertaking to drastically improve the outcomes of Betsi Cadwalladr? Thank you.